The destination of the appointment was not far from Gao Tu's new home. His father, Gao Ming, had called him earlier, asking to meet at a small cafe near a restaurant at exactly 12:15. He said he had something to hand over to his son, and afterward, they could enjoy lunch together. But in truth, Gao Tu had no intention of staying for lunch. He already knew that eating with his father would only bring him discomfort. No matter how delicious or sentimental the food was, it would feel bitter in his throat. His plan was simple: meet, collect what was necessary, and leave immediately. When Gao Tu's car pulled up outside the cafe, he was surprised to see his father waiting at the entrance long before the arranged time. "Gao Tu!" Gao Ming's voice carried too much enthusiasm, almost unnaturally so. Startled by this sudden display of warmth, Gao Tu instinctively took a step back. After all, he was not used to his father's excessive gestures of affection, not after so many years of disappointment and distance. But Gao Ming didn't allow him room to retreat. Wrapping an arm firmly around his shoulders, he guided him inside. "This is my friend's shop," he explained cheerfully. "It's closed today." Only then did Gao Tu notice that the metal shutter at the entrance was half pulled down. His heartbeat quickened. Something didn't feel right. Still, he was pushed through the doorway before he could resist. The shutter slammed shut behind him with a metallic clang. Inside the cafe sat 3 men, strangers, all of them tall, broad-shouldered, and radiating an intimidating presence. Even without a formal introduction, the air was thick with their pheromones. Alphas, panic gripped Gao Tu instantly. Ever since his time in treatment and isolation, his body had become acutely sensitive. Surrounded by so many unfamiliar alphas, his instincts screamed in alarm. Subconsciously, he raised his hand to cover his nose, trying to block out their suffocating scent. "What's this?" Gao Ming's smile suddenly vanished, replaced with a sharp, sarcastic edge. "Do you think alphas stink? Aren't you supposed to be a beta? Why are you suddenly so sensitive to their smell?" Before Gao Tu could respond, the 3 alphas moved closer, surrounding him like predators circling prey. Their mingled pheromones pressed heavily against his lungs, making it harder and harder to breathe. Forcing himself to speak, he turned to his father. "Didn't you say you had something to give me?" "Oh, that?" Gao Ming drawled, his eyes flashing coldly. "I don't feel like handing it over anymore. There's something more important I need to confirm." "Why did you resign so suddenly? Why did you come back without saying a word?" Before Gao Tu could answer, one of the men interrupted. His muscular arms were covered in tattoos, and his voice was harsh. "Old Gao, enough chatter. You owe us 300,000 yuan. You said your son promised to help you pay it back. Well, here he is. Doesn't look like much, though. He looks sick. Doesn't seem like he could pay off anything." The words sliced into Gao Tu like a knife. He spun toward his father in disbelief. "Debt? What debt? Didn't you tell me you quit gambling? Didn't you say you'd found a proper job and would live a peaceful life?" The tattooed alpha sneered. "Young man, don't you know your own father? He's been lying to you. So let me make it simple. Your father owes us money. Will you pay it back or not? Even the gentlest of creatures will defend itself when pushed too far." Gao Tu's anger finally erupted. "I don't have money," he snapped. "Go ask the one who owes you." The alpha's face darkened, his smile turning cruel. "So I came all the way here for nothing? You think you can talk reason with me?" Gao Tu's chest heaved with fury. "Reason? When you lent him money, didn't you check who you were dealing with? A stall? No, it's an underground casino. Gambling is illegal. What you're running is a crime." The tattooed alpha laughed loudly, the sound echoing through the empty cafe. "Oh, you know the law, do you? Then you should also know I can't let you walk away so easily." This man was infamous, not only for his brutality but for his twisted preferences. And now, his gaze lingered on Gao Tu with unsettling hunger. Meanwhile, Gao Ming, his own father, remained silent, his thoughts calculating. To him, Gao Tu's suffering was a means to an end. If selling his son could pay off the debt, or even bring profit, he wouldn't hesitate. In his eyes, his son was no longer family, but currency. The realization stabbed Gao Tu deeper than any knife. When he tried to dial the police, his phone was snatched away within seconds. The tattooed alpha's grip on his shoulder was ironclad, pain shooting through his arm. Pinned to the floor, weak from his condition, he couldn't fight them off. "Call the police?" the alpha mocked. "There's no calling the police for something like this." He crouched low, his breath hot against Gao Tu's face. "So tell me, how are you going to pay your father's debt?"
Protecting his abdomen with both arms, Gao Tu cried out, "You didn't lend me anything."
"Why should I pay it back?" "Reason again?" the alpha sneered. "I hate reason." He turned and kicked Gao Ming hard in the stomach. "Didn't you say your son would pay?" "He refuses and he wants to reason with me." "What should I do with him, old Gao?" Clutching his stomach, Gao Ming still forced a laugh. "Don't hurt him. He used to earn well. He sent me money before. He resigned recently, that's why he's tight now."
But 300,000 is nothing for the kind of boss he used to follow. If it comes to it, I can mortgage him to you.
"Let you do whatever you like." The alpha smirked.
Why would I want a beta as collateral?
"What's he worth?" "He's not a beta." Gao Ming's voice was sharp, almost triumphant. "He's an omega. Smell for yourself." Gasps filled the room as the men crowded closer, tearing the inhibitor patch from the back of Gao Tu's neck. A faint, soothing fragrance of sage filled the air, undeniable proof. "What a treasure," the tattooed alpha whispered, inhaling greedily. The moment was as violating as a stranger's hand on bare skin in public. Gao Tu's face drained of color, his entire body trembling with rage and terror. In a desperate burst of strength, he struck the men restraining him, elbowing one in the nose and kicking the other to the ground. But his defiance only made him more appealing. "Ha!" The tattooed alpha laughed, licking his lips. "I like this one. So full of fire." He released his pheromones without warning. The wild scent of bitter orange clashed violently with Gao Tu's fragile state. The overwhelming pressure struck him like a physical blow, making his knees buckle. Pain radiated from the back of his neck, searing through his entire body. Huabi, the tattooed alpha, caught him before he collapsed. "What a shame," he hissed mockingly. "I'd love to keep you for myself, but business is business.
Maybe we can settle the debt by the number of times you
entertain us." His companions roared with laughter. Even Gao Ming chuckled nervously, shamelessly adding, "Yes, yes. How will you calculate it? If it works out, I could even borrow more using him. He's very valuable. He's pregnant, after all." The words froze the air. Pregnant. Gao Tu's eyes widened, his breath caught in his throat. How did his father know? His secret, one he had fought so hard to protect, was suddenly exposed. Huabi's eyes gleamed. "Pregnant, are you? Pitiful thing. If I were your alpha, I'd never let you walk into such danger. But it seems your alpha doesn't want you." The cruel words pierced straight into Gao Tu's heart. He clutched his stomach desperately, his voice trembling. "No, baby, it's not true. Someone loves you. I love you. You're wanted, you're cherished." But reality was merciless. His father had betrayed him. Strangers now discussed his fate like property. Think! He had to think of a way out. His heartbeat thundered in his ears. There had to be a solution. Finally, with pale lips trembling, he forced out the words. "I have money." The room fell silent. Huabi leaned in closer, mockingly cupping his ear. "What was that? Speak louder, baby. I can't hear you." Summoning all his strength, Gao Tu raised his voice, sharp and unyielding. "I said, I have money. My father owes you, and I will make sure the child's father pays you back." His declaration echoed in the closed cafe, filled with both desperation and defiance. For Gao Tu, this was not just about debt. It was about survival for himself, and for the life growing within him. Thank you for watching. If this heartbreaking moment left you shocked, don't forget to hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments below.
I'd love to hear what you think about Gao Tu's situation.
And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next chapter.